Aloha from Hawaii. Magdalena here, and I'm here with my very good friend, Aloha. For those of you guys who've seen our Cooking for Balance program, you're in it, you recognize her, and you haven't changed much. Like, I think you look better. Even.
I'm a little grayer, but that's all good. Aloha from Maui.
I'm visiting her because she's moved here. In case you're new to this, we met in California where I was renting a part of the house from Ease, and we became instant friends. Food was the big connection, help as well, and she ended up co-producing the program with me, appearing in a lot of the videos. And so we want to give you like a quick reminder, you guys, on some of the beautiful things that we were cooking in a Cooking for Balance program. And since I'm here with her, we've been practicing a few recipes from the past. Before I do that, I just want to show you how beautiful it is out here. So we're at the beach. I'm gonna turn around the camera, and the black rocks you see, this is all the volcanic lava on Maui. And this is, would you say this is more like a local beach? Like, not many people really know about this.
It's not secret beach. There is a secret beach here, but yes, more of a local beach.
Okay, so now I need to turn that around. Okay, there we go. Now kind of get lost there for a second. Okay, so I'm wondering how many of you here are doing the Cooking for Balance program, and I know there's a whole bunch of new participants that we have. So I want to welcome you to the program and tell you how transformative it has been for so many of the women. So let's, if you're watching this live with us, tell us where you're from, come and say hello. If you have any questions for Ease, if you remember the recipes that she's been making on the video, such as on sprouting and macadamia, fermented cheese, almond milk as well, various forms of sprouting. So I want to kind of start off with that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your choice of living in Maui, like why are you here now? So, you know, I think my biggest memory, and people remember you the most for the sprouts that you've been making, right?
Sprouts for me, that's my #1 healing passion, because I had throat cancer, and I really believe the phytonutrients, the enzymes in the sprouts helped me to heal directly my mouth, my throat, and that became my passion. I just talked to everybody about sprouting, whether they knew about it, and I would try to show them how to go further. And now that I've been on Maui, I am just still that sprouting, sharing, healing love. And whether
so tell me, what do you love about sprouts? Like, what's so great about them that you energetically, you're clearly very drawn to them? Why is that?
So my fun example is really broccoli. So a 2.4 pound head of broccoli has the same phytonutrients as 1 ounce of broccoli sprouts.
Wow.
If I eat broccoli sprouts, I don't have to chew all day on 2.4 pounds of broccoli, mature broccoli. And a sprout is considered when it has 2 sets of 2 leaves. It is at its highest nutritional content value, and that's when you want to eat them. Even if you sprout, I say that loosely, it's germination. Even if I soak my almonds 12 or 24 hours, that increases the bioavailable nutritional value by 85%.
Right.
It's really exciting that just like soaking rice, soaking chickpeas, soaking almonds is such a simple thing overnight.
Yeah.
And it'll give us so much more digestible nutrition.
And you know, when you're doing the Cooking for Balance program, remember there are sprouting guides for you. You can pretty much sprout anything, huh?
If it's live.
If it's live.
If it hasn't been taken up to temperature, like some things are pasteurized.
Like almonds in the US.
And they say that you can sprout them, but my experience of actually trying it is you can't. So make sure you get a live, raw nuts, seeds, and sprout them. You bet.
Yeah, and even like chickpeas, it's so great to pre-soak them first. So like step 1 is pre-soaking, right? So you soak things overnight. Some things might be a little bit shorter, like for example sunflower seeds. If you soak them overnight, they're gonna just get all mushy.
Right, the smaller the seed, the fewer hours. So like pumpkin seeds are 3 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
almonds are 12 to 24. So it depends on the seed size.
And the guide is there in the Cooking for Balance program. So that's when, and you know, you reminded me of the beautiful rest. So when I arrived in Maui, Eve had her
Energy Sprout Superfood Shake.
Yeah, her epic drink, the Energy
Sprout Superfood Shake, that was based originally on Ann Wigmore's Energy Soup, and I updated it, and was my premier product in my raw food company.
Right. And so we are gonna be not recreating, but we're gonna basically, you have gifted us the recipe.
Yes, I'd love to share it. It's just the healthiest thing that I think anybody can have. It's so alkalizing. People used to come into Whole Foods with ALS and not be able to walk. They'd have a 10-ounce drink of this, and they would email me and say they could walk out pain-free.
Wow.
I mean, I get chills just to think of how powerful these sprout drinks are. And what I like about that is I sprout mung beans and lentils.
Yeah.
And sprouting those is really easy. Sprout them for 4 or 5 days. And since it's winter on the mainland, what I often do is I sprout mung beans and lentils, and then I make a soup, and then I put those sprouts in at the end. They're very digestible and add a lot more nutrition. It's not like you're cooking them up to temperature, but adding those to a warm soup is such a good winter way of using sprouts.
Yeah, so we're gonna be, that's so many great applications. I love that. And that drink, we're gonna be sharing that with you guys. We're gonna post it on the Hormones Balance website together with, we'll get a photographer to take some great photos, and it's gonna be ready to go in a couple of weeks. So thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yay. It's very exciting to share.
And so one of the things we kind of chatted a little bit before getting live, and one of the things you said was that you said, do you want me to talk about how I was a raw foodist before we met? And so can you address this a little bit about your own journey, like in a very concise form, and what made you go away from following one specific restricted diet? So you were a raw foodist, a vegan.
After cancer and reading the China study, I went vegan and I went raw, and I started a raw food company because it really helped me so much. But I wasn't very strong. And when I met Magdalena 3 or 4 years ago, she suggested, why don't you try a little fish? Why don't you try a little meat just for my energy? And I was like, no, I'm such a purist. No, it's a whole philosophy. And I did, and 1 ounce of fish is 9 grams of protein, so I didn't have to eat a lot. And then I did start with some meat, and my energy just popped right back. It was amazing. And as Magdalena coached me, I started listening to my body, not just about my ideals and what I'd read would really help me health-wise, but how I felt.
Yeah, so I don't want it to come across like, well, you know, like I'm blowing here my own horn in any way.
Let's blow it anyway.
Yeah, but I think the takeaway I wanted to do from this is to really remember to honor your body, right? And I don't think we're attracting many vegans to our community per se, because typically they wouldn't join us anyway. But if you have certain ideas on being on a very restricted diet, you know, really give it a shot with what we teach in the Cooking for Balance program in terms of learning and figuring out what really your body craves. And everyone is a little different. There's some people who feel amazing on avoiding meat altogether, but they do better with fish. There's some who do well with saturated fats, excuse me, and others who don't. And now we know a lot of it is good to do with your genetics. So yeah, so just honoring your body and listening to it. Switching gears a little bit, you took me to a farmer's market.
Oh my gosh,
on
Maui
Saturday.
here, the fresh produce. You have 3 growing seasons. It's just really amazing what people can do with food here.
Yeah.
And very innovative.
And I kind of even forgot that we have this recipe on Cooking for Balance, which you showed how to do it. So
the
hey,
macadamia
you guys,
nut cheese?
Yes, the macadamia nut cheese, and it's fermented, and they had it here in a form of dips.
Right.
So they added, like, there was one dip that we purchased which had dill in it. Was it
and
dill and
garlic?
And garlic,
and
yeah.
And then there was the
moringa. Moringa. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about moringa, you guys, in the coming months, because I've got even a greater interest in herbs moving forward. So yeah, so it was really it was very tasty, right? But it reminded me of the base of it all is using macadamia. And you don't have to use macadamia. They're pretty expensive nuts on them, especially in the United States. Some countries you can't even buy it at all. But they're wonderful. But we can also use, I mean, you used to make cheeses with other nuts, right?
Sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds are my favorite.
Okay, not almond.
Almond's great too, but
Okay.
if I'm really looking at low cost, a little lower fat,
Right.
then I would sprout sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
And do the same recipe essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So hey, you guys. So really great. Like if you're avoiding dairy, that's one of the things that people miss a lot is that creamy texture. And you know, look at that recipe for the macadamia cheese. You can like use any other nuts and get that creamy texture, that little bit of that sour, tangy feeling that you have in any fermented cheese or like a cottage cheese that we kind of want to cut it out, especially during the elimination diet. But I think most people, most women don't really do all that well with dairy. It's highly inflammatory when it comes to hormonal balance.
And check out for creamy that key lime pie made of avocado.
Yes.
I just love it that we can have such a light, like even a chocolate mousse, but it's made out of avocado.
Yeah.
It's just really exciting that we can have something, I think, that's even better than a cooked
I agree.
something.
I agree. Key lime pie, look at that in the Cooking for Balance program as well. One other thing that came to mind, well, for those of you who are joining us a little bit later, my flower is popping out. Wait, it needs to go back. Aloha, in case you're joining a little bit late. I'm in Maui with my friend Isolde. And I'm here to look at some retreat places for thrivers. You know, I know that many of you know that I'm organizing one in September with my friend Robin. That's in Switzerland as a liver detox. But not everybody wants to travel that far, and so Maui might be kind of far as well. But at least it's the United States. It's not a foreign trip per se, so you don't perhaps get that much of a cultural shock if you're not up for that. And it's always warm here and beautiful. So I'm looking at some retreat places for us to do something together in October. But what I wanted to, one of the things that you've been taking me out a lot, one of the cool things about hanging out with the local is getting to all the local secret places and like, oh, no, we go in here now, there's gonna be 6 turtles right here, and then swimming with the whales and dolphins and all that stuff. But one of the
And the waterfalls, the secret waterfalls, she liked that a lot.
Yes. But one of the things you've been doing a lot, and I know that was one of your reasons of moving to Maui, is soaking in the salty water. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
What I've learned, and even from different doctors, is that the ocean salt water is a 10 on a detoxing scale. If you do an Epsom salt bath, it would be less than a 10, but that's like the next best thing. But I go in the water for 20 minutes a day, and I think it's really just cleansing every part of me, all my organs, my skin. And you in the winter, please do Epsom salt baths. They're really excellent, but that's one reason to come to Maui. Certainly to be in the water. It also actually is helping me regulate my nervous system, being in the tidal pools, the tidal waters, and floating around.
Yeah, that's big.
But please come to Maui and play with us.
So Epsom salt is one thing. If you don't feel great after doing Epsom salts,
Right.
that could be because you're having some issues with processing sulfur. So, for example, I'm one of those who have a problem with too much sulfur. I have mutations that don't allow me to process sulfur as quickly as a person who doesn't have that. So the alternative would be to use magnesium salts, which are magnesium chloride. So don't worry about the word chloride. It's not like chlorine in the water. And that's actually what's found in the Dead Sea in Israel, which is hugely therapeutic. Thousands of people go to the Dead Sea just to soak and float every day. And so that's hugely, and you can buy those in a lot of great health stores. And so, yeah, so like, I think Ancient Minerals is one of the brands I really love. So stock up on that, and doing that every day, 3 times a week is just absolutely phenomenal in part of detoxification. I know many of you are starting out with thyroid detox. So I'm gonna be modifying the program a little bit to add a few things, and that's gonna be one of the additions. If you're watching this, make a note. It's not in the program, but you can do it yourself very easily. Just head out to get some magnesium salts, magnesium chloride, or Epsom salts, which is magnesium sulfate, and then and soak for 20 minutes, half an hour
You bet.
Every day, every
And
other day.
enjoy it. Relax. Make it your time.
Yeah, that's one of the big things about the relaxation part. I mean, part of the reason why you moved here is to really slow down, right? To really calm down your whole nervous system, isn't it?
It is, and living on Maui with the temperature year-round, it's outdoor living. It's listening to the birds. It's really waking with the sunrise. So it's in even just 6 months, I can say that I'm much healthier and happier. So really grateful to be here.
Well, not
I'm
everybody.
grateful she visited.
So not everybody can be in Maui and vacation here all the time, but you know, the alternative is also like I use sauna as that, right? As a place of warmth, of getting warmth. So awesome. I don't think we have any questions coming. We don't have that many people watching live because it is a bit of an odd hour at this point. So I'm just gonna flip my camera one more time just to say hello from Aloha from Hawaii. And yeah, so great to see you guys. I'm gonna be on a red eye back to Colorado tonight and back to work, and I won't be doing Facebook Live this Friday, but it's gonna be happening for sure next Friday. I'm excited to share with you all the new content we have coming up for 2019. All right.
Aloha and Happy
Aloha
New
everyone.
Year.
Happy New Year.